For Palm Sunday by Chris Hamilton, and we'll let him give you the title.
Yeah, this is actually intended to be one of many stories that are children's stories. Okay. Back in 2008, this inspiration came to me to try and write biblical stories for kids that was being told from the perspective of the animal in the story.
Oh, nice.
So you're going to pick up on that pretty quickly. And I want you to be very, very aware that just like the downloads that you may have heard about that I get a chance to share every once in a while, those downloads come just in an instantaneous passage of time. And this story was the exact same way. I didn't have any real personal input that I was aware of. When I started, it was, let's just say, 1 o'clock. When I was done, it was 2 o'clock, just hypothetically. I mean, it just happened. I just want you to know that that's how this came about, because I don't get any of the glory, I don't get any of the praise, it's all God. And the story is called Dalag. Dalag!
Okay. Did you hear that? Your church bells were going off right when you started talking. Did you hear that? Yeah, that was awesome.
Must be symbolic, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
Dalag! That's the sound between cheek and gum while calling a horse. Come here, Dalag! That's the sound I hear most mornings just before I get fed. Whenever I hear that noise, I do my best to pretend that I am not paying any attention or that I am just disinterested. After a while, the two legs seem to get tired of making that weird sound and then just throw the flake of hay into the pasture and walk away. That's my signal to go over and eat the dry leafy stuff that they feed me. I like hay because very little grass grows here in this rocky, arid climate. Every once in a while, the two legs will sneak up on me while I am eating and put a rope around my neck. Whenever they catch me, I usually put up a big fuss and jump all over the place. One of the two legs tried to get on my back once, and I jumped all around so much that he could not stay on. I am told that is how I got my name, Dalag. According to my master, Dalag means to leap. The last time someone tried to get on my back, I bucked them off. Later, I overheard my master say, Dalag cannot be ridden. I will have to take him to auction and get him out of our herd. I did not know what an auction was, so I soon forgot all about it. On this morning, while I was eating, I was once again taken by surprise and soon found myself with a rope around my neck. As hard as I tried, I could not get away, and after a while I just got too tired to fight anymore, and then my master pulled me across the pasture and out of the gate. All the while he was saying, "This is the day you go to auction." I reluctantly followed as he pulled me across the yard and tied me to a hitching post. My master's wife was waiting there for him, and she gave him a satchel, which he hung over his shoulder and then said, "I will be gone all day." Dalag is such a beautiful white colt, but since no one can ride him, I am taking him to Bethlehem to sell him at the auction. I will probably be back tomorrow. He walked over to where I was tied and began to stroke my neck and ears and speak softly to me. I felt both fear and comfort at the same time, and in a little while, gotta read the back part. In a little while, the fear was nearly gone. Then my master untied my rope, and we began to walk the long distance to Bethpage. There, is not a lot to tell about the trip to Bethpage. Besides, it is what took place after we got there that is the point of my story. After we reached Bethpage, my master tied me up to a post in front of an inn, and you will never guess what happened next. I was just getting my breath back from the long walk when two men came up to me and untied my rope. My master saw what was happening and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" They both said at the same time, "The master," in capital M, "needs him." Who's the master, I thought. I have a master, but who is the master? As I followed these strangers, I heard one say to another, "Andrew, this is so amazing. We found this colt just exactly like Jesus said we would. There was even a man who asked, 'What are you doing with that colt?' Just like Jesus said he would." Then the other man spoke and said, Did you have any doubt, Thomas? Jesus has always been right every time. You shouldn't doubt him. I knew it would be just as Jesus said it would." Then Andrew and Thomas led me out of the gates of Bethpage and into the country. I could see in the distance a large crowd, and I could hear lots of noise from the people. It sounded like they were singing or something. I was not sure. As we approached the crowd, they began to make room for us, and soon we had walked deep into the middle of this happy throng. Then, for the first time, I saw him. Andrew yelled, "Jesus, Master, we have brought you this colt just like you asked us to." The master's eyes met mine, and all of a sudden, I was transfixed. I was looking into the very eyes of the Creator of the heavens. I recognized his voice, and I saw the spirit of the dove resting above his head. And then that same spirit came and rested itself on me, and I could not look at my new master any longer. I lowered my eyes. I put my nose to the ground, and I bent one knee, and I knelt before my Creator God. Now I knew who the master was. I was immediately willing to serve in any way I could. Jesus came alongside me, and I stood waiting to see what would happen next. One of the followers of Jesus placed his purple cloak over my beautiful white back, and then Jesus held on to my mane. Without any effort at all, he was seated on my back. There, for the first time, I stood tall and strong, not moving a muscle. I was serving the Master, and I was ready and willing to go anywhere he would lead. Jesus squeezed my sides, and I began to walk, raising my front feet high in the air with every step. The excitement began to build, and the crowd began to make room for us. The singing and the praise were so beautiful. All the people were laying large palm branches on the pathway for me to walk on. There were so many people that the ones that did not have palm branches took off their cloaks and spread them on the roadway, just like a long carpet. I listened to the beautiful songs, and this is what I heard. Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed is the coming kingdom of our father David. Hosanna in the highest. As we walked toward Jerusalem, I am certain that I was the only one to see it. But up in the sky was a choir of angels singing the same song of praise that all the people were singing. Walking through the gates of Jerusalem was like being in a parade. The whole crowd was performing and dancing, acting like they were making way for a king. I knew that he was a king, and it felt good to see all these people giving my king all the honor and glory that he was worthy of. I walked with my head up high and did my best to serve my master. When we reached the steps of the temple, Jesus got down and took my rope and began to talk to me softly. Dalag, today I give you a new name. From now on, you will be called Chegag, which means to move in a circle and march in a sacred procession. You have served me well.
Oh,
That was good.
that's so powerful. Yeah.
Thank you guys. Praise the Lord.
Yeah.